Find the Point on CGTN. My name is Liu Xin. For 3 days in a row, we're going to bring you the stories of 6 China pros, what they did, what they saw, what they felt, and how they changed their perspectives, maybe a little bit in 2017. And today, we have 2 guests, and they're about to share their amazing stories with us. Xiteng Dama is a term used to describe a group of volunteers, but it's not just any group. They are mostly Chinese women in their retirement who are living in hutongs, the little alleyways in the old part of the city, downtown mostly. And they would stroll around and help the local police maintain order and take care of community issues. Our next speaker is also very interested in this work. The only problem is he is an American and he's a male, but he did manage to join this group of volunteers and he's quite popular. How did he succeed? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next guest, Terry Crossman.
Hey guys, how you all doing? Hello. So, Xiteng Dama is actually a brand name for the Xiteng district, and we do have old men as well. Okay. So sometimes I think I should be, I didn't have a sex change, so I'm a Xiteng Sushu or Xiteng Daye, but as a brand name we were called the Big Mothers. Yeah. So I've lived in Beijing for 22 years. My name is Terry. I actually started learning Chinese 44 years ago. When I was 18 years old, I took a slow boat to China. And I majored in Chinese studies at the University of Pennsylvania, and I've lived in Greater China for 35 years. So China's really been a big part of my life. And some people say, why are you still in Beijing? Why are you living here? You know, the air sometimes is sort of crap, and the traffic is horrible. But I'm addicted to the unpredictable. And China, if anything, is unpredictable. I mean, every day is an adventure for me. I live my life. I follow the unfolding. In Chinese, we would say 顺其自然. And, you know, it's just meet so many wonderful and incredible people. So I was in an executive search business for 20-odd years here in Beijing, one of the pioneers actually for high-level management recruiting. But about 2 years ago, I decided I'm tired. I'm 60 years old. I don't really want to go to the office every day. I don't need the stress. So I started doing lots of different things. And I moved into the hutongs after raising a family here. They're all gone, but I moved into the hutongs, the courtyard areas of downtown Beijing, about 7 years ago. And after having a stroke last year, funnily enough, I ended up doing a lot of walking in my neighborhood. And I happen to live in one of the most historical areas of Beijing. I mean, it's like all the buildings are 400 years old or more. And I started meeting a lot of the local older Beijingers and started learning a little bit about Beijing culture. And that was wonderful. And they invited me to join their Xiteng Dama. I mean, it's almost like joining a club. And I mean, mostly what I do is just give people directions or pour water for people. In Lotus Lane near Hohai. And, but I love making people happy. I mean, my life is about making people happy. I'm a happy person. You know, in Chinese I say I'm very 随和. And, you know, Lei Feng once said, you know, as a model, you know, to serve the people. And what I do is serve the people. I used to think of the Xicheng Damas like busybodies. They are partly neighborhood watch, what we in America would call neighborhood watch. And you're supposed to keep your eyes out for bad people. But, you know, there's so many layers of security. I mean, Beijing's got to be one of the most safest places in the world. I rarely run into bad situations here. And so when I met these people and they invited me to become part of their group, I said, sure, why not? And so like once a week for a couple hours every afternoon, I go and sit in this little red booth and give people directions. I mean, I read my book and I give people directions. Well, that was all fine until they decided to make a video about me. And that video ended up becoming an internet sensation. And I've become what in Chinese we call it Wang Hong, or an internet celebrity. I have mixed feelings, because in Chinese we have a saying, you know, Ren pa chu ming, zhu pa zhuang. You know, people are afraid of becoming famous like a pig is afraid of becoming fat. Because if you're a fat pig, you're going to get butchered. But anyways, it's been what an amazing road that has been. I mean, talk about unpredictable. I would have never believed that I've been on TV so many times now. I've been in like 20 different newspapers have interviewed me. My mom called me out of the blue. She was 84 years old from South Carolina and said, "How come you didn't tell me you become famous?" I was sort of living, you know, I like my quiet life, you know, and all of a sudden I became a Mingren. And so China has given me lots of wonderful opportunities. That's just one of my thousands of stories. I mean, 12 years in Hong Kong and Cantonese and 22 years in Beijing. But this is my Xicheng security volunteer armband. I think I'm the only foreigner who is a, Yangren 志愿者, a foreign official volunteer. And I've met some amazing, wonderful people that way. I've learned how to make dishes that I only know how to eat. I mean, except I'm hopeless at bowing jiaozi, but
bowing
jiaozi. That's English. Okay. I'm hopeless at making jiaozi, dumplings, Chinese dumplings. But I learned how to make jjajangmian, which is 地道的jjajangmian.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, that's my little story about being a Xicheng Dama and being of service to the various different people that come. I've also been teaching them English because we have a lot of foreign tourists that come into my neighborhood. I also pour water for people. It's fun to be of service.
谢谢 Terry.
不用客气了.
Thank you, Terry. What is your Chinese name? I guess you have one.
Oh, of course I do. I've had that name for 44 years.
What is it?
高天瑞.
高天瑞.
瑞士的瑞.
瑞士的高天瑞.
瑞士的
瑞.
丰年的那个瑞.
Wow. Okay, so why do you want to tell people your story? Have you ever thought about it? I mean, you accepted these interviews, maybe you want to lay low, but in the end you want to come out and you want to tell people these stories. Why?
I love telling stories. I must admit, I like being a bit unique.
No, I mean, do you think you wanted to share with people some thoughts, some experience you've had having spent so many years in China?
Yeah, there's a certain sense of freedom in a way of being to be an expatriated individual. Okay? I mean, back in the 20s and 30s, some famous authors all went to Paris and became famous writers and things like that. You're free of the expectations of the society that you came from. And so I like that sort of freedom. I always loved the Chinese people and Chinese culture. I read the Tao Te Ching when I was 12 years old.
Wow.
And that was in the 1960s. I'm an old guy. And I've just been following the flow. There's an energy that drew me here. I mean, yes, I do speak Chinese, but in Chinese we say there's yuan fen.
Yuanfen. Again, this is the second time we come across
and
this
a lot
term.
of these people have Yuanfen stories. Okay.
How do you translate that? What is the closest word in English that you can?
One decent enough is serendipity, but serendipity doesn't really cut it either. It's not fate. I often say it's already always connectedness. So you have a connection with that person or that situation or that place that's operating on the level of qi, okay,
Wow.
I mean, in a Taoist sense.
And you have witnessed the change of Beijing, the change
a
of
lot
China.
of changes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you able to express, to summarize that kind of change in, I don't know, 1 or 2 sentences? But yeah, what strikes you the most? I know it's a huge question, but
Beijing's China's a lot more convenient for a foreigner now than it was 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of food or entertainment, I mean, we have an amazing music scene here. I mean, I loved going out to listen to music and discovering actually American music here in Beijing. I mean, there's just one thing I love about living in China, I mean, if we're talking to people from other places, is you meet so many fascinating people here, including the Laowai, the foreigners. Because the type of foreigner who comes here, adapts, and likes living here is a very special sort of person. I like those type of people.
外国人, the deformed nuts.
Yeah, so sometimes I say I come to Beijing for the Beijing 外国人.
The Beijing 外国人.
Yeah, yeah.
And how about those people you deal with you live with on a daily basis, the 大爷大妈,
Yeah.
the people who live in the hutong.
They're
How would
wonderful
you describe
people. They
them?
keep on trying to teach me Beijing 土语, Beijing patois.
Did you make some progress?
No.
The R 化音.
Oh, the Arhuayin is no problem. It's more the slang.
You seem to get along well with them, and it's like
I
your
get
old
along
buddies.
great. Oh, yeah, we're 哥们儿.
哥们儿.
Yeah. 一起抽一根烟啦，聊聊天儿嘛, shit like that.
You have become Chinese. You're more Chinese than you think. Am I right? And you're happy about that?
I'm very happy. I mean, it's amazing because I came from a very proper New England background, but my life and my connection my fate has been China, and I have retired here, and little problems sometimes getting visas, but I'm still managing. The thing is, in China, when you want to get something done, there's always a way to get it done. You just have to be a resourceful person.
Yeah, and optimistic.
Optimistic. I'm very
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gao Tianrui.
谢谢你.
Have a good time in China.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye bye. 谢谢.
Our next speaker is an American girl who was born in China. And it was love at first sight when she saw the famous Chinese dancer Yang Liping doing the very famous peacock dance. She said, "This is what I want to do, and this is who I want to be." Now she's a TV host, and she has done that, and she has also been learning traditional Chinese dance. And she discovered that in order to perform Chinese dance, you also need to learn to think as the Chinese do, and that's not always simple. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Jongmay Urbonya.
Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Jongmay. In Chinese, that means 中美,中国的中,美国的美. So China America or Sino-American. I know that sounds weird, but when I was born in China, my parents said, well, she was born in China and she's American, so she's gonna have a Chinese name that's really, really awkward. And we're gonna take her back to America, and you can imagine how school went there with a Chinese name. But I grew up in the States, but I always had this dream of being a Chinese dancer. So I was in China when I was really little, and my sister, she loved Chinese dance. And of course, I was the little baby following her around. She did this, and I did this. And then we went to America, and we started a Chinese dance troupe in America when we were really little, because there wasn't much Chinese dance there. So we would come back to China for a summer and work really, really hard on learning many, many Chinese dances, and then go back to America and teach it. And my dream from when I was very little was to be Yang Liping, who was an amazing Chinese dancer. You might know her as the peacock dancer. And Yang Liping, she always did her own thing. So I grew up in America as Jongmay, and Jongmay, Sino-American, and I was like, I want to be a Chinese dancer like Yang Liping. I want to do something that's just, you know, out of just different. And when I was in high school, I came back to China for my last year. And that year, my high school took us to Yunnan, took us to Gansu, different parts of China. And in Yunnan, we visited villages where the natives, they got me up on stage and they started to beat this drum, and they were like, okay, you're just gonna start to dance, and you know, and I was just like feeling it. And then that's when I learned the real meaning of dance. I think the Native Americans in America have a very good explanation of dance. It is the drum is the heartbeat. So when you're dancing, you just have to follow your heart. And I followed my heart and went on to go to college in China and study Chinese dance professionally for 4 years, which was hard because in China, I didn't know this, but most of Chinese dance, even though I thought of it was something was in my heart and I was gonna learn and I was gonna be all like dancey, but all of the other girls, they were perfect. My gosh, the legs and the moves. They had perfect bodies, or whatever the Chinese meaning for perfect bodies is. Very skinny and slim, and of course we didn't eat, and we got weighed every Wednesday. Yes, 称体重. And it was very scary. After we got weighed, we used to shove food down our throats. But it was all very interesting. And after learning, I learned that, you know, Chinese dance, we had to learn them all, every day. We had so many classes. It was like this minority, that minority, this dynasty, and I was always just so confused, and I was the only white girl in my class, and it was really hard to remember all those moves. But if anyone knows anything about China, Chinese people have the best memory, yes. And so it took me a while, but now I think I can remember things pretty easy, yes. So I have a better memory, and I think I worked really hard my first 2 years on studying all the different minorities of China. But you can't think of it as just dancing. You really can't. You have to get down to what Chinese dance is, actually. It's just culture. So if you understand the culture, you can understand everything about Chinese dance. So today, I made Chinese dance really easy for you guys to understand. And we'll start off with some Chaoxian. So China has a minority that's very close to Korea, and it's called Chaoxian Zhu, the Chaoxian minority. And to learn their dancing, it's really simple, okay? You just have to think about swatting mosquitoes. Yes, swatting mosquitoes. So, music, please. Let's start. Okay. Today, there's many mosquitoes in my house. They're biting my arms. They're biting my legs. And then finally, swat it. But I didn't get it, right? So I need my knives. So swat. So this is the swatting mosquito dance. And this is Korean dance, Chaoxian Korean dance. And the last minority I'm going to show you is the Han minority. So I think everybody here, are you Han? So everybody is Han.
Yeah.
And basically,
well, not everybody.
No, not everybody.
The majority.
The majority. Yeah. We're all not Han. So this is the Han minority. It's like cleaning like cleaning your house. So when you're
I love
thinking
that.
about, yeah, you see, they use handkerchiefs. So when you're like in your house, you know, you walk up and I'm, okay, this is a little bit dirty. You know, I'll wipe this down. I'll wipe this, you know, and my windows and everything. So this is how it goes. Okay, so think about it like that. Get ready.
大姑娘买的那个大姑娘郎，大姑娘走了进了青纱岗，这边的苞米它一结穗儿啊，微风轻吹，
Wow.
情热郎啊。我东瞅瞅西望望，咋就不见情歌我的郎？郎啊郎，你在哪嘎达藏？找得我是好心慌。
Yay.
So this is Chinese dance, and I don't know if you can now think that if you now think that you can learn it really fast, but I also have taught Chinese dance, and usually this is how I teach it. So, you know, now I think you guys are ready to go and dance with the guangchang dama, the ladies who dance on the street, you know, on the, what is the guangchang called? What are they
Guangchang?
called? Yes!
Yeah, guangchang.
So you see, this is why Chinese can really relate to their culture, because it's just really relatable.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Jongmay.
you.
Wow. I mean, I'm again humbled. Can I see
wanna
this?
try?
Can I see this? I don't want to try because I'm horrible. But let me find out if there is some secrets that you maybe hold on to something that can make it.
You can make
turn
it spin.
Yeah. Can I try? So what do
Yes.
you do? You spin it and then
spin
you
it.
stick out the finger. Okay.
And I throw it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let me try the simplest first. No.
Here, we
Wait.
can play catch and throw.
Okay.
So
what
you're
do you
right
do?
there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this?
Ready? Yes, both ways.
Oh,
Okay,
both
ready?
ways, so I have to-
Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
I can even throw it to the audience.
You have to
That
throw
was
it in
too
a
far.
certain way so that it flies.
Yes. Whoa, that's working.
Hey, do
You
they
wanna
get to
throw it
keep
back?
it?
Yes. You want to throw it back?
Throw it back.
To
Whoever you
either
choose.
way. Ooh.
I got it. I'm going to clean my window. This is great. I mean, this is so much fun. How come you become good at?
You want to
do
try
I have
this?
to try that as well? I think I'll pass on that. I think I'll pass. I'll go and practice at
Here,
home.
you can try one. Watch out, watch out. Oh,
Is this the
has
one with water?
This one doesn't have water.
Is this a real one? No,
Yeah,
I'll
this
pass.
one's
I'll
real
pass. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. But it's amazing. How come you want to do all of this? And you know, what is the connection there that wants you to do it, that wants you to learn, that you want to learn it and learn it so well, like a Chinese?
I wanted to learn since I was little because of Yang Liping, only because of her. My whole
By the way,
dream-
you haven't done the peacock dance. Do a little bit. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What do your... Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Da-da-da-da-da.
So you want to pursue a career here in China?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do after college. I wanted to be a dancer. But then I started to be a host too, also. Like,
What
sort
kind of
like
show
this-
do you do? Or do you
well,
do?
I do many different shows, internet shows, and also TV shows, so different.
Yeah.
And CCTV a lot, yeah, so.
Okay.
But now I realize that dancing is not only just practicing every day for me, but it's really just getting to know the people, going everywhere. As a host, you get to go all around China and dance. You know, the other day I was with the Yi, so like, yeah, the whole Yi thing, and we were dancing up a storm. And I realized that it's more interactive, and I think I've become a better, like, more able to connect with Chinese people through dance.
How about Americans?
Americans,
Do you connect with them as well?
I think, you know, they come to China. When they come to China, I can connect better with them. I think in America...
But not in America?
Now I do, sort of. The Americans who are in... I mean, the Chinese who are in America, I connect very well with them.
Not with the Americans in the U.S. Anyway, you're becoming more and more Chinese, would you say? A
I
little
think
bit? With the food, with the culture, the way how people speak and do things.
I think I realized after coming to China, when I was little, I always wanted to be Yang Liping, and this is what pushed me to do everything. But then, after coming to China and learning Chinese dance, and then I started to realize the value of my own culture also. So I think before I was always pushing to be Chinese, I wanted Chinese dance.
That's interesting.
But then I came here and my classmates, they were all Chinese.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know about America. And that's when I read a book, I remember saying, you really have to love your own culture for people to love you. So I ended up going back to America and studying like hip hop and jazz, you know, doing a little bit more of this kind of stuff, and then coming back and being able to connect with, you know, Americans and Chinese alike, because they want to talk to me about American dance.
Sure.
So then after I go, yeah, jazz is like this, and they say, oh, wow, you like Chinese dance too. So we end up connecting really well with both cultures.
That's interesting, right? Learning more about China made you want to find out about your own culture.
Yes.
That's the feeling I got when Happy was teaching me the Chinese poem. It's like rediscovering your own culture.
And
your
also
own
when
literature.
you know your own culture and then you tell Chinese you like their culture too.
Then it's meaningful too.
It's more meaningful. I think it's like, okay, you like America, you know about America. And then
you know what you're talking about.
you know what you're talking about. And then
Absolutely.
you love us. And I think it's like Chinese then just feel like, oh, okay, I feel really valued. Instead, if you just say, oh, I focused all my life on Chinese culture and I forgot my own culture.
Because after all, you are American.
Yes,
You come from an American family.
So I think with
Anyway.
any culture, it's you have to first learn your own.
Sure.
And then go on and keep on going on to others.
Very interesting. Well, I had my first experience with these. What do you call this in Chinese?
手绢.
手绢,
Handkerchiefs,
of
yeah.
course, handkerchief. What else can it be called?
手绢, yes.
Oh, 手绢.
It's the Chinese word
Yeah.
for handkerchief. So
Thank you very much for coming here and showing us all the wonderful dances and your stories, your
Thank
thoughts
you.
about China. And again, all the very best for your future.
thank you.
Thank you. Here. Thank you for watching this program. You can always see more of these stories on the internet by going to YouTube, for instance, typing CGTN The Point and search for their stories. Follow me on Twitter or Facebook using the handle The Point with LX. Download the application called CGTN Live. And always tune in to The Point, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10 in the evening, Beijing time. See you in the new year and wish you all the very best. Bye-bye. Thank you. We made it. Thank you very much.
This is CGTN.
You're watching CGTN. I'm Jeff Moody, live in Beijing.
You're watching CGTN.
Coming to you from Washington, D.C.
You're watching CGTN.
Coming to you from my room.
I'm members of the permafrost.
Mark, what can you tell us about events happening there?
Politics
This is a pretty picture. I think of the band.
back over to Beijing.
To go after them.
All about the band.
This is CGTN. CGTN. See the difference.